Julian, a lot of people quite fancy going and doing guest lectures or full-time lecturing at universities as something later in life or an extra add-on. You've done it very successfully. Was it hard? And how did you do it? And tips for others?
Yeah, it is. I have done it successfully. I think I got into it at around the right time as well. I got into it because I then went back to people who'd asked me to do guest lectures and said, would you like me to do anything more permanently? Or can I just deliver half a course for nothing almost? It was basically being a lost leader. And I started off doing that at Bradford University School of Management. Went in, did a couple of guest spots. Then someone said to me, actually, we need someone to take over an MBA strategy module in a country because someone's not there. Can you do it? And that's how it started, and that's how I did it. And slowly but surely, other business schools would come along and ask for the same thing. A couple of things that you need to be aware of. Number one, there's a big difference between doing proper formal teaching and being a guest lecturer. I thought I was a fab guest lecturer, and then I had to do my first full strategy module, and I was terrified. I just hugged the laptop. I wasn't animated. I found it quite difficult. But I kept on going, and I kept learning, and I kept observing other people. And slowly but surely I developed my own style, and I now teach 8 or 9 different countries. But one of the other things you have to be aware of now is that the environment has changed hugely from when I started teaching at business schools. In those days, practitioners, providing they were good, were welcomed. These days, more and more people who teach at business schools are long-term, full-time researchers who've never actually worked in outside industry. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what it is. So therefore, you have to be really on top of your game to be able to do it. So my advice for anybody is, if you fancy it, maybe you enjoyed being a student, an MBA student who've done some guest teaching, the only real way in is to try and go use your networks and say, is there anything I could do to help somebody's course at the business school, free of charge, of course, but maybe I could do an afternoon or something like that, and build it up from there. But one thing I would finish and say on this is, I've been doing it for about 18 years now, on and off, and I still love doing it. And that's one of the things you've got to do.
That sounds very good advice and a great thing to do. Thanks very much, Julian.